Two of the most common ways that we're hearing about attackers breaking into networks are through the web application and by targeting the users directly inside those networks. In this video, I'm going to show how we can use Core Impact to target internal users inside an organization via email, get control of their machines, and then pivot to find and discover more machines to exploit. By bypassing the network perimeter, we bypass a lot of an organization's security controls, which are directly checking to ensure that those services that directly talk to the internet are protected. The first part of doing our email client-side testing is to learn about what addresses an attacker could find. With this client-side information gathering wizard, I have a number of different ways of learning about email addresses that are publicly available. As you can see, I can use search engines to go and Google a company's domain name, looking for specific email addresses. We can use public repositories. I can crawl the website of a target organization and see what email addresses are present on the website. This website crawler will also look for any documents, Office documents, PDF documents, and extract email addresses from those documents. It can also be told to look inside those documents for any sensitive information that could be leaking out as well, such as credit card numbers or other employee IDs, social security numbers, anything that could be deemed sensitive. We can generate a list of email addresses from a file and pass it directly to Impact, and we can use LinkedIn to generate email addresses. In my case, I've manually added some email addresses just through a right-click and New Email option. So we'll go ahead and perform the test. I'm going to drag and drop my client-side attack and penetration. It's targeted, in this case, one email address, but I could just as easily target 10, 100, 1000, or even more emails in order to get a feel for what risk my users expose my organization to. The email has to come from a source email address. I'm going to go ahead and put in this bob@attacker.org. Obviously, in a live environment, I'd make this email address a little bit more innocent, perhaps misspelling the corporate name so it looks like it's coming from a legitimate email within the organization. Then I get to choose what attack I'd like to do. My choice here is dictated by what I know about the target environment. If I have a lot of knowledge, I'd go ahead and choose a single exploit attack. With this option, I can then say the type of attack I want to do, perhaps via the victim's web browser, and then I can simply say choose an explicit exploit. So I can see my list of possible client-side exploits and pick the one that I believe the internal users will be victims to. This implies I have a lot of detailed knowledge about the specific versions of applications that are running on users' machines. If I know the application and just want to run the latest exploit, I can use my target application list to choose the latest exploit. If I don't have that level of knowledge, I can send multiple attacks via one email. Through this, I'm going to say generate an email with a single link in it, send that link to my victims. When the victims click on that link, run either all of the available client-side attacks or look at their browser and the information we receive from them and choose attacks based on that. I then get to choose a template I want to use. Impact has built-in templates, but it's very easy to generate your own templates. The most common way is to receive an email and save it as an HTML file and place it in our template folder. You see, I can come in and choose specific emails that I want to send. I'm going to go ahead and say to use the security updates email. If I need to, I can put in an SMTP server, but Impact will do a lookup for me. Lastly, I need to tell Impact how any compromised machine could communicate with it. Here I can choose a TCP connection, but I'm going to go ahead and say we should set up a secure HTTPS channel between myself and a compromised machine. This is proxy aware, and we'll go through any proxy set up in the victim's environment. When I click on Finish, we can see some modules will start to run. The client-side attack and penetration module will run, and it's going to initiate all of the available client-side modules, generate an email, and send that to our victim. When the exploits are initiated, we can switch across to our victim and see the victim's experience. Here's our victim's machine. Let's go ahead and get the emails. Here we can see the security updates email has come through. If I scroll down, I can see there's the text that we saw in the email and the link. If I go ahead and click on the link, Impact's going to start running through and targeting this machine with different attacks. we can see that taking place on the screen. If we switch over to the network, we can actually see that the machine has been compromised. We can use this to now pivot inside that network. We have internal access to that target machine, and we can simply right-click and choose the Set as Source option. Now we can pivot and move around inside this internal network from that user's machine. The scenario we've just performed is an attacker from the internet sending an email to an internal user within an organization, gaining access to that user's machine, and using that machine as a beachhead to start attacking the internal network.